today we'll be discussing a few questions on Indian Contract Act. The first question is, an offer which is open for acceptance over a period of time. An offer which is open for acceptance over a period of time is A. Cross offer, B. Counter offer, C. Standing offer, D. Implied offer. An offer which is open for acceptance over a period of time is A. Cross offer, B. Counter offer, C. Standing offer, and D. Implied offer. So correct answer is option C. It is called a standing offer which is open for acceptance over a period of time. Suppose 10 days, 15 days, for which the offer is open, thereafter it will be closed. So in that case, within this 15 days time, the increase or the acceptance should come in that offer with respect to that offer. So it's a standing offer. Option C is correct. An unenforceable contract is, which is, an unenforceable contract is one which is option, a contract which is void from beginning. B, a contract which cannot be enforced because of certain technical defects. C, a contract which is made without legal consideration. And D, all of these. Unenforceable contract is one which is options. A contract which is void from beginning. A contract, option B, a contract which cannot be enforced because of certain technical defects. And C is a contract which is made without legal consideration. And D, all of these. So correct answer for this question is option B. That is, and unenforceable contracts are those which cannot be enforced because they are having certain technical defects. So it's correct. That is option B is correct. Amar makes a proposal to Bhim to sell his car for ₹50,000. Bhim posts a letter of acceptance. The communication of acceptance shall be complete against Bhim when. So Amar makes an offer to Bhim to sell his car for 50,000. Bhim posts a letter of acceptance. The communication of acceptance against the Bhim will be complete when. Options. A. Letter of acceptance is posted. B. Proposal was received by Bhim. C. Amar receives the letter of acceptance. And D. Letter of acceptance is written by Bhim. Amar makes an offer, makes a proposal to Bhim to sell his car for 50,000. Bhim posts a letter of acceptance. Communication of acceptance shall be complete against Bhim when. Options. A. Letter of acceptance is posted. B. Proposal was received by Bhim. C. Amar receives the letter of acceptance. And D. Letter of acceptance was written by Bhim. So when is the acceptance being complete against Bhim? The correct answer for this question is option C. When Amar will be receiving the letter of acceptance which was written by Bhim, then the acceptance of communication of acceptance against Bhim is complete. So whenever the proposer is giving an offer and then the promisee is accepting it, he is posting his acceptance is complete only when the proposal again receives that acceptance. So option C is correct. When Amar is receiving the letter of acceptance which was written by Bhim, then only the communication of offer or acceptance against Bhim is complete. So option C is correct. Status obligations dash. A. Gives rise to legal obligations. B. Are voidable agreements. C. Are out of scope of Indian Contract Act. And D. Are within the scope of ICA. Status obligations are dash. The options A gives rise to legal obligations. B are voidable agreements. C are out of scope from ICA, and D are within the scope of ICA. Status obligations. Status obligations are dash. A. Give rise to legal obligations. B are voidable agreement. C are out of scope from ICA, and D is within the scope of ICA. Status obligations. The correct answer for this question is option C. Status obligations are outside the purview of ICA. Now, what is the status obligations? Basically, status obligations are like, suppose the king, or I would say the Prince Charles of England. So he is obviously a royal person, obviously having a lot of legacy, right? Queen Elizabeth III's relative. So obviously some status obligations would be there. So they have to go for like inauguration of many places whenever they are called. Some speeches need to be given. So these are our status obligations. So here there is no binding contract between the person who is calling in and he is delivering the lecture or delivering a speech over an inauguration of any new place in England or new, I would say, place in England or wherever. Not only in, we travel throughout the world. So there is a status obligation that they have to behave in such a manner. They have to go and deliver a speech or do certain charity work. So that is whatever they do, the king and the prince and other family, the royal family of England. So that is a status obligation for them, and that is obviously outside the scope of ICA because ICA will never recognize these kind of agreements, right? So this is a question where answer is option C. The status obligations are outside the purview of ICA. Fine. A minor in partnership firm is liable. A. Personally. B. Only in case of insolvency of firm. C. Unlimited liability. D. None. Minor in partnership is liable. A. Personally. B. Only in case of insolvency of the firm. And C is unlimited liability. And D. None. Correct answer for this question is none of the above. Minor is not responsible for anything because he is unable to make a valid contract. He cannot make a contract which is valid. Capacity of the parties, right? So obviously he can be admitted for the benefits of the partnership, but he cannot have liability as such. Even though the firm is in the insolvency proceedings, then also minor shall not be liable. So answer is option D. Mohan invites Sohan to stay with him in Mumbai during Christmas vacation. Sohan accepts the invitation and informs Mohan accordingly. When Sohan reaches Mohan's house, he finds it locked. He therefore stays in a hotel. Sohan now wants to claim from Mohan the hotel charges. The option available to Soham is that options. A. Soham claims hotel charges from Mohan. B. Soham can claim uh, damages. C. Soham can file a suit against Mohan, and D. None. Options are Soham claims hotel charges from Mohan. Option B. Soham can claim damages. Option C. Soham can file a suit against Mohan. And option D. None of these. Here what happens, a friend is inviting another one to stay with him, and obviously when other friend Soham is going, then obviously Mohan was not there. So he had to pay the hotel charges and had to reside in a hotel instead of friend's house. So now hotel charges can be taken if there is any binding contract between the parties. So this was a social obligation, right? Or I would say a personal agreement. So here there is no legal obligation between the parties or no intention to create a legal relationship. So there is no contract, just an agreement. So obviously someone cannot claim the hotel charges first of all. He also cannot claim the damages. He cannot file the suit against Mohan. So option D is correct over here, none of these. Mayur Travels, Mayur Travelers ply its tourist buses from Chennai to Tirupati. The bus is standing at Chennai railway station, waiting for the passengers. Mr. Ramalingam, a passenger desirous of going to Tirupati, boards the bus without permission of the driver or the conductor of the bus. In this case, options are A, express offer, this is the case of A, accept express offer, B, internal offer, C, external offer, D, implied offer. Mayur Travelers is flying the bus for the tourists from Chennai to Tirupati. Ramalingan, a passenger desirous to go to Tirupati, boards the bus without the permission of driver or conductor. This is a case of A, express offer, B, internal offer, C, external offer, D, implied offer. No permission is required because it's an implied offer. Option D is correct. Kedar promises to make a gift of rupees 5,000 towards the servicing of his car. The serviceman incurs his car. The serviceman incurs liabilities on the faith of his promises. Kedar refuses to pay as there was not any valid contract between them. Can serviceman recover the promised amount from Kedar? Options. A. Serviceman can recover 5,000 from Kedar. B. Option B. Serviceman cannot recover anything from Kedar as there was not any valid contract between them. Option C. Serviceman can recover the extent to liabilities from Kedar. So he can charge the damages. And option D. Serviceman can use Kedar, can take Kedar to the court of law. So you can file a suit against Kedar. So Kedar promised to give a gift of 5,000 towards the servicing of the car. The serviceman incurred few liabilities and on the faith of his promise. Later, Kedar refused to pay 5,000 because there was no valid contract between them. What can a serviceman do? A serviceman can recover 5,000 from Kedar. B, serviceman cannot recover anything from Kedar because there was no valid contract between them. C, serviceman can recover the extent to liabilities from Kedar. So only the damages can be sought. And option D, he can file a suit against Kedar. So here the correct answer is option number C, that only the serviceman can recover the damages from Kedar, not the promised amount because it was a gift and no binding contract was there between them. So only the serviceman can, towards the extent of liabilities, whatever he has incurred in expenses, then he can just claim that, just the damages. So option C is correct. A is a manufacturer of ballpoint pen. He advertised in the trade press that in future the price of his pen will be ₹5 and strict action will be taken against who is not observing this price. B had read the advertisement, but he forgot and retails the pen at ₹8. Now you have to give the advice to E. Question is, A was the manufacturer of the ballpoint pen. He fixed the price as ₹5 and he told, means at the advertisement it was written it's 5 and everyone has to other to it. But a retailer sold the pen at ₹8. That is B. Because B read the advertisement but he forgot. So that's why he sold the pen at 8. Now advise A what A can do. Which action A will take against B. Options. A can take a serious action against B because it was clearly written in the advertisement. Option B, A cannot take any A cannot take any action as there is no privy of contract between A and B. Option C, it cannot take any action as it is an unintentional mistake. And D, A can take a serious action because B had read the advertisement before resale. So the manufacturer of the ball pen had advertised that the pen should be sold at 5 rupees and a strict action will be taken against those who are not observing this price, and we sold the pen a retailer at rupees 8. Now what action A can take against B? A can take a serious action against B because it was clearly written in the advertisement. B is A cannot take any action because there is no privy of contract between A and B. Option C, A cannot take any action because it is an unintentional mistake. We forgot, that's why. And option D, A can take a serious action against B because we had read the advertisement before we resell the goods. So the correct answer for this question is option number B. A cannot take any action against B because there is no preview of contract between A and B. Right? B had not given any acceptance, it was just written in the newspaper advertisement. That's why option B is the correct answer. A cannot take any action against B because there is no preview of contract between A and B. So option B is correct. A nephew of X ran away from house. He sent his servant Y in search of the nephew. After that, X announced a reward to anybody giving information relating to the nephew. Y, before seeing the announcement, traced the nephew and informed X. Y claims for reward. In this case, what will happen? A. Y's suit will be dismissed on the ground that he had not accepted the offer. Option B, the court may direct Y to recover the amount. Option C, Y cannot even claim the expenses incurred. And option D, Y is liable to receive the amount. Nephew of X ran away from house, so obviously he sent his servant Y in search of nephew. Afterwards, X announced that anybody who will give the information will get the reward. Y, before seeing any announcement or the reward, he knew about it, and he traced nephew and he informed X. So now Y is now claiming the reward. What should be the action? Or in the case, what will happen? A. Y's suit will be dismissed on the ground that he had not accepted the offer. Next, the court may direct Y to recover the amount. And option C, Y cannot even claim the expenses incurred. And option D, Y is liable to receive the amount. So what should be the correct answer here? The correct answer is very, very simple. In this case, option A is correct. Because Y had not accepted the offer, he had no offer of the reward. So obviously he had no knowledge about it. So he had not accepted it or not given any kind of acceptance. So obviously Y's suit for the reward claiming will be dismissed by the court of law on the ground that he had not accepted the offer. So how he can claim the reward now? So option A is correct. Now all the participants will get the scores in the chat. Out of 10 questions we discussed, how much score was your score today? So let's have the scores from all. So I've got score 8 by 10 for Shadab. Others, all the participants should might have completed the counting of the questions. Out of 10 questions we discussed, how much was the score? 7, Avinash, nice. Others, be it whatever your score, you should at least give your scores so we can understand. And today, whatever we have discussed, they were case study based questions, and we had actually discussed the case laws, the judgments in the form of cases and the examples. So, all the questions were really important, and they were 2 marker. So, how was the score for all those who have participated? Okay, Rihan is 8. Others quickly give your scores, otherwise we will not be able to determine who scored the maximum. Ashfaq is telling 10 on 10, very, very good. Others, so do calculate your scores and let us know in just next 30 seconds. So we can declare the clear winner of the session as well. So okay, we can see that Ashfaq got 10 on 10, so hopefully he is the clearly the winner of the session. Congrats to him and congrats to others. They have just 1 or 2 questions down. Good performance, Shabat, from your side. I liked it. And others are always well performers, so no need to mention them. Obviously, they know that they are good. So do keep on revising at your end, and we'll be meeting very, very soon with another set of questions. Thank you for today's session.